catch up with you. You need to read and take time. That's why sometimes they give you time to read before you start.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so here, let's just go through this slowly. They say we have got a business by the name of WeFix. And then they say the owner here, you can see here, they talk about Ben is Slim. Can you see now? I'm just going to underline here. They say we trade as what? We know that why? WeFix. And then they say we're a sole proprietor, and then we're registered for VAT. It's very much important to know that if you're registered for VAT, it means there are some items which needs to include VAT. So much know which ones are VATable and which one are not VATable. Okay. But at the moment, it's important for us to know that obviously we are the VAT vendor. We are going to charge the VATable items at a rate of 15%. Okay. And again, they're saying we've fixed the repair all makes of cell phones. And in addition, the entity also sells cell phones, accessories such as phone covers, screen protectors, and wireless. So it's important for you again to know what are you selling, because what you are selling will be your inventory. Because if you don't know what you are selling, you'll end up identifying, let's say you are selling laptops and you don't even know that you are selling laptops. You will call laptop equipment instead of saying inventory. Can you see the importance of knowing what you sell? Because what you sell is always classified as trading inventory or trading stock.
Okay.
So now we know that whatever we sell, as long as you sell cell phone related items, we are having inventory. Are we together? Yes. They say on the 24th, at the end of April 2023, the bookkeeper attempted to reconcile the creditor's ledger of Smart Screen. Remember, our creditor here is what? Smart Screen. With a monthly statement received from Smart Screen. So Smart Screen is where we bought items on credit. Are we together?
Yes.
Can you see the disadvantage of appointing our friends and family to run our business? Can you see we've got an inexperienced bookkeeper?
Yeah.
This guy just said 1 + 1 is 2. And then he made a mistake. That's why we're correcting his mistakes. I'm saying his because I know in most cases they make mistakes. I'm joking. I'm just saying. Okay. So at the end of the day, we are correcting the mistakes here. Can you see now? So now we're reconciling our creditor's ledger together with our statement from the creditor. But I like the way they ask you now, because reconciling, they can give you a format which they want you to use to reconcile. It doesn't mean that this is the only format that you can use. But for this business, they said you must use this format. They can choose any other format, but it doesn't matter. What matters most is your understanding. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because if you can take this question to someone else, maybe from UJ, they can become confused if they don't understand. Because for them, they don't assess them like this, but they are assessed the same thing, but in a different format. So, but that doesn't matter. That's why they gave you an example here, because they want you to follow this example. Sometimes you can even find, maybe sometimes you didn't even find this in your textbook. Can you see now? It's how they challenge you sometimes. Yes. So, and then they say the transactions on the 1st of April 2023, the beginning of the month that we're reconciling, was completed for you as an example. Okay? Now, they did give you the format like this. As you can see, they gave you the date, they gave you the document number, they said debit or credit, but this is for you need to be careful here because you can be confused. This is part for the creditors ledger. And this one is the part for what? The statement from our creditor. So you need to check, because it is your responsibility to check where are you going to adjust. Are you going to change the statement, or are you going to change our books? Our books, I'm referring to our creditors ledger. So it is your responsibility to know where is the mistake and where must I fix the mistake and how must I fix the mistake. Must I fix my creditors ledger, or must I fix my statement from the smart screen? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes. As you can see here, they gave us an example. Let me explain this reconciliation thing. It's like the bank record. You
Mm.
know, why do we reconcile? It's, for example, for a month, you can find that, let's say, during the month, we did record everything in the books. It's like the bank record. So remember, at the end of the month, we must close our books so that we can have new balances for the next month. But let's say, for
Yes.
example, after recording everything for the month, you get a statement which has got things which were supposed to be part of what you compiled. Can you cancel everything and start from the beginning?
Mm-mm.
No, you start where you ended. Can you see now? Others will be added and others will be deducted. So in that way, we are reconciling. We don't have to start from the beginning. We start where we ended. That's why here, if you can check here with our example here, they gave us the balance for both situations on the 30th of what? Of April. Remember, we recorded everything. We're having the statement. We're reconciling at the end of April. So we just have to start where we ended. So if we can go through the statement, or let's say I'm going to scroll, you'll see, you'll find that these balances are there. This is the balance of the creditors ledger, meaning I expect to see this 21,050 at the end of the month, but for creditors ledger. I expect to see this 18,854.48 at the end of the month, but it must be reflected on the statement. So if you check your statement there, do you see that? Let's go and check. Let's start with where? Our creditors ledger. Can you see this? Can you
Yes, I
note
can.
this balance? Can you see it?
Yes.
So we start where we ended. So that's why they gave you this balance of 21,050. Can you see
Mm.
now?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can go to the statement, we go to the statement and take the last, check the last balance there. Can you see this balance? It's the one at the end. This one, the
Yeah.
one at the. Can you see now? So you always start where you ended. So in future, they won't write this for you. They will just give you a blank format. Just know that you must always start with the balance, and that balance must be at the end of the month. Even if it was a bank recon, you must start with the balances at the end of that particular month. Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that I want you to remember. Okay, so make sure that you check that. So you can see they did record everything for us here as an example. And they also recorded for us on the first. But even though they recorded on the first, I just want us to understand why is it like this, okay?
Mm.
No problem. Now, let's continue. Remember, we're still analyzing the information here
Yeah.
before we can come and record. So they say note, if there is no effect on the creators or the creator statement, no debit or credit entry, indicate this by entering zero. It's like what they said. There was no effect, you must record what? Zero.
Mm.
So wherever there is no record, you must put zero. Even though, let's say here we didn't have let's say this credit was supposed to be here, here I was supposed to put zero. So if there is no entry, just put zero. Okay, it's what they are telling us. In the relevant blocks, round off amounts to two decimals. This is very much important because most students, they don't look at this. They convert to the nearest rands. Some lecturers can penalize you for that. Can you see now? There are very few lecturers
Mm.
who are like me, who thinks, for my students, I'm joking. So, but most lecturers can say you did not follow instructions. So you must be careful. If they want two decimals, show two decimals. If they say nearest rands, don't show decimals. Are we together?
Yeah.
No problem. Let me go. Remember, we're still analyzing here. And again, here they give us the creditors ledger. Remember, we understand by now that the creditors ledger, like we have said from the previous page, remember, you are not surprised if I'm writing this.
Mm.
Remember, you're not surprised when I'm writing this, okay? Because our creditors are our liabilities, so they share these rules. Can you see now?
Mm.
So it means whatever you record on the credit side will always increase the previous balance. I think you remember the logic around this.
Yes.
So remember 19,900 plus 8,560 will give you 28. So whatever you record here will always increase the previous balance. So what I
Mm.
detected from my past experience, most students, they forget, they don't show the balances here. They only show the balance at the beginning and the balance at the end. They will lose marks for these balances. So you must show balances daily. Whenever you record, you must have a new balance. Do not forget that.
Okay.
Okay? Now, okay, they also give us the statement. Remember, we're just analyzing. I'm just going to go to the statement once again. They give us the statement. You can see this statement doesn't come from us. It's coming from our creditor, someone to whom we owe money. Are we together? But remember, in their books, they regarded you as what? As their debtor. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So meaning in the books of SMART, WeFix is a debtor to SMART Screen. So according to SMART Screen, when they were recording in this was in the debtors ledger of what? Of SMART Screen. So they were dealing with debtors in their books. So you need to be careful when we do our books. We cannot apply according to what they applied. We must think in terms of the creditors, and in their case, they were thinking in terms of debtors because we are their debtor. So whatever they recorded here, they recorded according to the principles of debtors. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Because check here, if when they sold to us, they invoiced us. Can you see for them they went to the debit side?
Yeah.
And they increased. But in our case, we cannot go to the debit side. We must go to what?
Credit.
The credit. So we do the opposite because this comes from the debtors ledger of SMART. And in our books, we're not opening debtors ledger. We're opening creditors ledger. I want you to get that logic first before we record. Are we good?
Yes, we are.
So for future reference, in your case, there you can just write, this is the debtors ledger of SMART Screen, but creditors ledger for Fix. So this is the debtors ledger for SMART Screen.
Okay.
No problem. Okay, now we have analyzed all the information. Now we can just continue to look at the other information there. Okay, so they did give us information there. They say, unless stated otherwise, you may assume that WeFix entered into all the transactions included in the creditor's ledger and the creditor statement provided. No problem, we'll come back to that. And they did give us some transactions of which we're going to look at. So these are the things that are going to help us to adjust. So this information, we're going to come back to it and analyze it nicely, okay? And then this is the format. I think this is the format that, I think you see it on your book. I just came up with the format quickly when you send me this. And this is the format that I'm going to use to record. Okay?
Yeah.
So far, do you feel like you're going somewhere? Because I want you to feel like you're doing, if you don't get it, I just want you to feel like you're getting somewhere. That is a very important thing.
No, we are getting somewhere. Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.